Well, good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Good
Morning, how you
morning. I'm
doing?
good.
I'm doing great, thank you. Doing great. Trying to stay warm. Um, Let me share my screen with you so we can just get right into it. Okay, so we see today that we're going to complete the 11 by 8.5 title block that we started last class. We're going to use that title block for a simple legal description that we're going to use, that we're going to draw, that is, a little bit later in the course. Okay, and then we want to get to deconstructing a civil drawing set part 2 today. We should get there. Okay. Quiz number 2 is due at the beginning of this class today, right? And you should have used the same textbook reading that you did for deconstructing a civil set plan part 1. Okay, all right. And of course, those of you who did not have the textbook, I extended the due date for quiz number 1 to Wednesday of this week. Okay, and of course, as I always do, okay, I'm trying to minimize it. Okay, you won't let me do it. All right, so as I always do, I also submitted a recording of last Friday's class. Okay, and I will always do that, so that would help anybody who misses or is absent from a particular class. I will always do a recording. All right, so let's get right into it. Okay, I want you to go ahead and launch AutoCAD, please. All right, so when you launch it, I'll give you a chance to do that if you haven't already. It brings you to the Create page, okay? And what we're going to do here, we want to open an existing file. So we want to open up that 8.5 by 11 title block that we started. So let's select Open Files here.
How do we access a Porto again? I'm having trouble finding it.
Okay. Let me do this. Let me share this with you. Let's see if I can go back. Let me stop. Well, let's go to a new share here. Okay. So let's see if we can go back to, let's go to, well, I'm already here at announcements. I'm at the announcements right here. Okay. Okay. If you go back to the welcome announcement right here, okay. I provided the link to access a Porto. Here's the link right here.
There we go. I found it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay. All right, so let's go back to AutoCAD. So here we are. Let's go to, of course, at the Create page, you can open up an existing file. So we're going to go to Open here. Okay, so this took me here. Let's see where I need to be. I think I put the, let's go to my, yeah. So I placed that CAD drawing in my CET folder in my documents directory. So let's just go, I'm gonna go there. I don't know where you placed yours, but that's where I placed mine, okay? So I'm gonna select the file, okay? And then I'm gonna open it up. Okay, so I see here that I just opened that file right there. There it is. Cool. So I'll give you a chance to do that. There we go. That's what I want to do. I want to minimize that. Okay, cool. All righty. Okay, so this title block exercise is designed just to get you just to know how to draw lines and how to add some text, okay? All right, so I need you to make reference to, as I stop sharing for a moment, okay? I need you to make reference to a handout or however you're going to reference it to this layout for the title block. Okay, I need you to make reference to that. Okay, so we see from these dimensions here that we are going to be creating this title block, having these lines, these lines and text. Okay, when we look at the handout, we see that this outer line here. Let me get a pointer. This outer line here actually will represent the actual size of the paper, okay? Because here is the we're gonna start the title block from absolute coordinate 0, 0, right? Right? Yeah. And we see here's the upper right corner, right there, okay? And that's going to be 11 by 8.5 as a relative coordinate, but we'll look at that later. Okay, so this outside line represents the actual sheet size. Okay, and we're going to place that sheet size on a non-plot layer. That's why we created it. And we know the purpose of a non-plot layer is that you will see it in model space, but when you go to paper space for production purposes, the line would not be visible. Okay, it would be non-plottable. Okay, so we're going to actually place the sheet size on the non-plot layer, and then we're going to draw these lines here. Okay, representing the title block itself. Okay, and we see that these lines here are offset. So we're going to use an offset tool. It's offset from the actual paper size by 0.25 inches because we're actually using a mechanical units. We use mechanical units. All right. And then we're going to be adding these lines here, of course, right, for the title block itself. And in doing that, I'm going to show you how to use some simple modify tools like copy and trim and all that. Okay, and then lastly, we're gonna add this text in there. Okay, so that's our game plan for today. All right, so now let's go back to AutoCAD. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to select my home tab here so I can expand my ribbon. Oh. Okay, so now we know that that outer line representing the actual page size, 8.5 by 11, is on the non-plat layer. So what I need to do, last class we created all these layers. So if I come up here to this panel right here, okay, and there's a drop-down list here. Good. What I want to choose, what I want to make current is my non-plat layer. So I'm going to make that current. Meaning now, any lines that I draw will be placed on the non-plat layer. Okay. All right. So are we together?
Yep.
Good. Good. All right. So now let's go to our draw tools. Okay. You're going to find that with AutoCAD, there are several ways of doing the same thing. Okay. But right now we're going to concentrate on these icons here. So if I wanted to draw a line, of course, I would choose this icon. Okay. Cool. And if I wanted to, okay, and circles, arcs. Okay, so but here's what we're going to do. Instead of drawing separate lines here, right? Because what I want to create, right, starting at 0, 0, I want to create the outline of this 8.5 by sheet, 8.5 by 11 sheet on the non-plat layer. So instead of drawing lines, though, I'm going to use another tool. Okay, come up here. I'm just going to select this drop down, right? And of course, whenever you see an arrow pointing downward, that means we have a drop down list that gives us more options. So I'm going to choose the rectangle tool. That's what I want you to do. Okay, choose the rectangle tool. Okay, so instead of making individual lines, we're going to make that outline one continuous line. Okay, of course. So I've activated the rectangle tool, and it's asking me for the first corner of my rectangle. So I want that lower left corner to start at 0, 0. So I'm just going to left click on the command line right here until I get this flashing. Yep, that flashing. I just left click inside there, and now I'm going to type in absolute coordinate 0, 0. So that's where my rectangle is starting. Okay, so I'm going to enter that. Good. So you see, here's where I'm starting. All right. So now I'm taking my cursor and I'm just moving it in this direction. Okay. So you see, it's beginning to create that rectangle. Okay. When you invoke a command, if you look at the command line, it's going to give you options as how to manipulate that command. Okay, so I see that I could draw I could finish drawing this rectangle by area, or I can use the dimensions option, and I could change its rotation. Okay, typically when you're drawing a rectangle, you typically use the dimensions option. Okay, so let's look at that. So let's select that. Just come down here and select that. Okay, let me share this with you. I could actually come down here and left click on the tool, or you see how that D is capitalized. The D of the word dimensions is capitalized. I can also just type in D enter as a shortcut. Okay. Okay, so again, I could select the actual tool or use the shortcut. All right, so now it's asking me specify the length of the rectangle. Okay, well, the length of the rectangle is going to be the width, so it's going to be 11 inches. So And all I got to do is type in 11 because my default insertion scale is already defaulting to inches. So I'm just going to go 11. Okay. Now, the reason why I see that dimension here and not at the command line is because I have my F12 function key, which is my dynamic input selected. So if I deselect F12, okay, and I just escape out of that, okay, and I just go back to where I was, okay. Good. Okay, and I specify that first corner. Okay, good. Now let's see. Oh, so it still wants to do it. All right, okay, no problem. We're not gonna worry about that. All right, so I'm gonna use the dimensions. Now this time I'm gonna select the icon instead of typing in D. Good. Okay, so now it's asking me for my length, and it's gonna be 11 inches, so 11. Okay, into that. Okay, now it's asking me for my width, which is gonna be 8.5. Okay, here it is. Now, in order for this command to actually execute, we need to left click now. Okay, if you don't left click, it will disappear. Okay. All right, so now we have created that sheet size in half by 11, and we placed it on a non-plot layer, and we can get it. We have a clue that we're on the right layer because the color of the non-plot layer is white. Okay, it's white. So these lines are white. So that's a clue to us that they're actually on the non-plot layer. All right. So I want to. This rectangle is kind of like. Off to the left here, but I want to center it in my workspace here, okay? So if you have a rolling mouse button, if you select that, if you depress, that is, that rolling mouse button up and down vertically several times, okay? Okay, that's called zoom extent. So it took that rectangle and it zoomed it to the full extent of my workspace. Okay? And that's pretty cool because sometimes when you're drawing objects, they will be out here somewhere, and you say, "Well, I knew I drew it. Where is it?" Okay. Well, that's because it's out of the area of your workspace. So if you do a zoom extent by taking that rolling mouse button in the center and just depressing it up and down several times. Sometimes you have to be a little persistent with it, okay? Depending upon your mouse, okay? Good. So now we just did a zoom extent, okay? Another way of actually maneuvering within your workspace is a command called pan, called pan. So again, if I take that rolling mouse button in the center and I just depress it and I hold it down and then I move my cursor, see, now I can pan this object around in my workspace. I can pan it around. Okay, it's called pan. Okay, again, I'm gonna put it over here because I want to practice zoom extents again. So it's over here and I want it to be centered within my workspace. So I'm gonna take that center mouse button, press it up and down several times. There we go. So back to zoom extents. So now you learned zoom extents and you learn pan. Of course, there are icons for zoom extents and there are icons for pan, but it's easier to use the mouse control. Okay. All right. Does everybody have the outline of the sheet on the non-plot layer?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So now, what we're going to do, okay, and now we're going to actually start to draw the lines itself of the title block, okay? So the lines, the perimeter of the title block lines themselves is, they are offset from the actual sheet size by 0.25 inches, okay? So now we're going to use a modify tool, okay, a modify tool. Okay, let me find it, okay? It's right there, okay? I'm in the modify panel right here, modify panel, okay? And then if I hover over that icon, it tells me what it is. And then if I continue to hover over that icon, it gives me some additional information as to how the particular tool is used, okay? For example, you can offset an object at a specified distance or through a point. After you offset objects, you can trim and extend them as an efficient method to create drawings containing many parallel lines and curves. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to offset that sheet size at a specified distance, okay? All right, so let's choose the tool right here, offset. Okay, now, we now look at the command line, all right? And it's asking us to specify the offset distance. We know that distance is going to be 0.25. Okay, it's up here. It's up here. Not if you, okay, because I have my dynamic input on, okay, and I tried to turn it off and it wouldn't let me. So that my distance is here, okay? And some people like to have the dynamic input on because they would rather see the instructions here as opposed to the command line. Doesn't matter. But I am going to show you how to turn that off so we can just have the command be shown, the command be shown at the command line. All right, so 0.25, we're going to enter that. Good. Now it's asking us to select the object that you want to offset. This is a continuous line. It's a continuous line. So all we have to do is left click here, which we normally select by left clicking. Okay? So we left click the line, and you see when I actually contact it, the entire line highlights because it is one entity. Okay, so now I'm just going to select it here. Now it's asking me, well, to what side do you want to offset this to? Do you want to offset it to the left, or you want to offset it to the right? So all you got to do is move your cursor. If you want to offset it to the left, move your cursor that way. Well, you want to offset it to the right, you move it this way. Of course, we want to offset to the right. So we move our cursor in this direction and then we left click. These are just simple, basic AutoCAD tools, okay? And that's what we're doing, simple. All right. So now we can escape out of that command. Good. All right. But here is the issue now, okay? When you offset an object from its original object, it takes on the properties of that object. So, okay. If I hover over this, you see, it's telling me that it's a polyline, which is a continuous line, okay? Color by layer, and it's on the non-plot layer, but we don't want it to be on the non-plot layer. We don't want it to be on the non-plot layer. We want it to be on the title block layer, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to select this line right here. This is just showing you how you can change an object from one layer to another layer, okay? So we're going to select this line right here. Good. it highlights it like that. Then we're going to come up here to our layer structure here, layer structure. Okay, drop down list here. And we're going to choose our title block layer. Okay, title block. That's all we're going to do. Choose it. Okay, we're going to escape out of that. And like magic, okay, now the title block layer has been changed to from the none plot to the title block layer, okay? And this is why we do things in different colors, because it's obvious now, we know that the color of the title block layer is magenta, so we can easily tell that, okay, this is on the right layer, okay? All right, I'll let you go ahead and work on that for a moment. Okay. Do we all have the title block lines offset and at the and on the proper layer? Do we?
Yep, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, pretty simple, right? Pretty simple stuff. All right. So now, this is a polyline now, but I don't want it to be a polyline, because what I want to do now is to explode it into its individual components that will allow me to now do some other commands in terms of copying and trim, right, to further develop the title block lines. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to come here, again, we're in the modify panel. We're going to come up here to this icon here, hover over it, it says explode. Okay, breaks a compound object into its component objects. And that's what we want to do. Okay, so let's select that command right there, this icon, tool. Okay, now it's asking me, asking at the command line, it says, select the object that you want to explode. So we're going to select here. Good. And then we're going to enter. So now, when we look at this line, guess what? Okay, now it's in this individual component. See that? Individual line there, individual line there, individual line there. So that's how you use the explode command. And that's going to be particularly important when you start to insert objects into from another repository into your drawing. And when you use an insert tool, they're typically going to come in as one entity or a block, and sometimes you will have to explode them to manipulate them. Okay. All right. So now we've exploded that polyline. Okay. So now we want to deal with the other lines of the title block. So I want you to make reference. I want you to make reference to the handout, if you printed it out, of the title block itself. So now we're going to start to deal with, well, just let me share my screen with you. Okay, let me stop sharing here for a second. Okay, cool. All right. So now, all right. So now you're looking at my board again. Okay. So now, here's what we're going to do. Okay. We've exploded these lines here. So now we have the individual lines here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to offset. We're going to offset this line right here. Well, let me see, which one do I want to do first? Okay, let's do it this way. Here's what we're going to do first. We're going to offset this line here from this line here by a dimension of 0.75. See that right there? 0.75. Okay. Right? And then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do holistically. And then we're going to offset this line from this line by a dimension of 3.25. And then we're going to, it's going to be a long line, but then we're going to trim it back down to this distance here, and this called 0.75. We can trim it. So we're going to use the trim command, okay? And then we're going to copy this line to here, okay, by a dimension of 4 inches. So we're going to use the copy tool, and then we're going to copy this line from here to here by a dimension of 2 inches. And again, we're going to use the copy tool. So we're going to use we're going to use some new modifier tools, trim and copy. All right. So let's go back to AutoCAD. All right. So what I say we're going to do, we're going to now. I want to show you something too. We've already used the offset tool, right? So instead of going back up here and selecting it again, let's see what happens. Can I right click here? Can I right click? Okay. Right click. And you see where it says recent input, okay? So now instead of going back to the icon, okay, I want to reuse the offset tool. So I go to recent input, right? I right click and I get this dialog box. Of course, these are my options, okay? And then I choose offset again, okay? That just keeps me from going back to the icon each time. Okay. Now, we have a new offset distance of 0.75. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to left click in here. I'm going to get that little flashing vertical line there, and I'm going to type in my new offset distance, which is so now my dynamic input is off. Thank you very much. Okay, 0.75. Then we're going to enter that. It's asking me for, well, what line do you want to offset? Well, I'm going to offset. I'm going to left click on this one. I'm going to offset. To what side? This side. Still not that side. This side. Good. Okay. So now what I want to do, I want to offset this vertical line here by a distance of 3.25, okay? Just using simple modify tools now. All right, so let's right click, recent input, oops, enter, and right click, recent input. Okay, let me show you what I did there. Okay, I right clicked, okay. Now it's already there. Okay, so go to, here it is right there. Repeat offset, right? Saves me from going back to the icon. Okay, come down here. What's my new offset distance? 3.25. Okay, what line do I want to offset? This one. To what side? This side. Cool. Okay. All right. So this line is too long, right? It only needs to be 0.75 in length, right? So what I want to do now, I want to trim this line back to this line. Okay. So I'm going to come up here to my modify panel again. Hover over this icon right here. Okay, it says trim. And there's a drop-down list too. So we see I can actually select trim or extend, and And we might look at extend for a second too, after we trim, just to give you an example. All right, but right now you want to choose trim. Okay. Now, here's what you're going to do first. You're going to select the line that you want to trim to. Okay, so I want to trim this line to this line. Okay, so I'm going to select the line that I want to trim to, which is this line right here. Okay. And then I'm going to right click. Then I'm going to right click. And then I'm going to select the line that I want to trim. See that? So I'll let you try that. Okay. All right, so let's examine the extend tool, okay? So let's come up here to the drop-down list here. Now let's choose extend. So now we're just going to do the reverse just for example purposes. Now I want to extend this line here to this line here, okay? That's what I want to do, okay? So in this case, I want to select the line that I want to extend, which is this one. Then I want to right click. Then I want to select the line that I want to extend to. Okay, let's see. Oh, sorry. Same scenario. Okay, let's go back. Extend. I'm going to select the line that I want to extend to. Sorry about that. Okay, and then I'm going to right click and I'm going to select the line that I want to extend. See that? Okay. So that's an examination of trim and extend. Okay. Now, if I come up here to my quick access menu here, and I select undo right here. See this undo right there? Okay. That simply cancels out my the latest command, which was extend. Okay. Okay. So now Control Z works the same way. So now if I want to put it back, or oops, let's go back. Let's try that. Let's go back to redo. Okay. So we have undo, and then if you want to put it back, you go to redo. Okay. Okay. Undo. Cool. All right. Undo, redo. All right. So now I'll let you just play with that a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yep, just play around with it a little bit. All right. Everybody good?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So now we want to look at the copy command. It is, of course, in the modify panel, and here it is right here. Okay. Copies objects at a specified distance in a specified direction. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to invoke the copy command right here. Left click on that. Okay. It's asking me, well, what do you want to copy? I'm just going to, I'm rolling my my center mouse button, my rolling mouse button away from me, and that's zooming in, right? Or I can zoom out by rolling it toward me, by rolling it away from me. I can zoom in. Okay, so I'm just zooming in a little bit here. Cool. So it's asking me what object you want to copy. I want to copy this object right here. Okay, and then I'm going to right click. And when you do these kind of like move, copy, rotate command, it's going to always ask you what is going to be the base point for your copy, what's going to be the base point for your move, what's going to be the base point for your rotation. Okay, so I'm going to choose the end of this line right here, right? Okay. And we know that's object OSNAP symbol that lets me know, because I have my object OSNAPs working in the background. It lets me know that I'm at the end point of that line right there. Okay, so that's going to be my base point, the end point of the line. So I'm just going to hover over it again. R. Okay, good. Now I'm going to put. Oh, I'm going to turn my F8 function key on, which is my ortho mode, right? I'm going to select F8. And that's going to force it into horizontal alignment, okay? Okay. All right, so now it's asking me to specify the second point, and I'm going to copy that line 4 inches away. So I'm just going to go 4, hit enter. There it is. And then I'm going to escape out of that. Okay. What I would like for you to do is to get in the habit of saving your drawing manually. We talked about last time that even if you don't, AutoCAD is saving your drawing in the background, and we said it. We left it at the default 10-minute save. Okay, but I want you to get into the habit of saving your drawings. Okay, so we've done some work here. So I want you to come up here. We can actually, there are several ways of doing that. Okay, we can go to the application menu. Okay, we can choose save here. Okay, we can go to the quick reference menu here. Let me go save. So I'm going to suggest that you save your drawing at this point by either method. Okay. And you see this command down here, it says Q save. You could also type that in at the command line, Q save, to actually save a drawing. Pardon me. Let me get a drink of water. Okay. All right. Okay, so we just saved that drawing. All right. So let's go back here. We need to do one more copy command. We're going to copy this line over to here by a distance of 2 inches. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not going to illustrate it until you do it. Or you go ahead and do it yourself, and then I'll demonstrate. Okay. You're probably finished by now. Okay, so I'm going to right click. So go to recent input, where there it is right there, copy. Good. So what do I want to copy? I want to copy this line here. Right click. What's my base point right there? Point my cursor in the direction that I want it to be copied. And I'm going to type in 2 inches. There it is. Skip out of that. Do a zoom extent. There we go, zoom extent. Okay. All righty then. All right, so now we have all the lines of our title block. We have our sheet size on a non-plot layer. Good. Title block lines on a title block layer. It's good. Let me see. Good. I want to verify that these dimensions are correct, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the measure tool. It's in, see, is it right? There it is right there, okay. Let's see, and of course, I'm using the measuring tool, okay, good. And I want to use the distance options, okay, so I came over here, okay, right? Okay. And then I want to do, okay, I'm going to choose distance. Good. So I want to verify that these dimensions are correct. Oops. That's why. Make sure that I'm on the end of that line. There we go. Good. Good. 3.5. That's what that's what it should be. Okay, cool. All right. So now I want you to use the measuring tool and ensure that all of those dimensions are correct. Okay. So what'd you do? Measure distance. Okay. That's good. That's what you're going to do. All of the dimensions, including the actual paper size as well. Which should be 11 comma 11 by, or 8.5 by 11. Also measure the offset of the title block lines from the sheet size. Okay. All right. So, I'm sorry about the sun here. Let me see if I can close my door. Make it a little better. There we go. It's a little better. Okay, cool. So now we're about to add annotation text. Okay. We're going to add this text in this box. We're going to add these exact words, title of drawing, right? Because this is sort of a template drawing, right? Right. So we will change the title of a drawing to suit our needs. Okay. You're going to put your name here. Okay, your name here. Actually, you're going to put your first initial and your last name here. Okay. And then we're going to write the word scale, right? 1-to-1, right? Because we know in AutoCAD, scale is always 1-to-1, true size. And then you're going to write today's date in this format, and you're going to put in EX number XX because that will change as well. Okay, so let's go back to AutoCAD. Okay, now annotation. AutoCAD has two types of annotation, okay? Thank you very much. If you go at the Home tab, if you come over here to this big A here, okay? And of course, there's a drop-down list here. Let's look at that. Okay, there are two types of text that you can apply in AutoCAD. Multi-line text, which simply allows you to write text in paragraph form, paragraph form, continual paragraph, in paragraph form. Or you can use single line text, right? Which just allows you to draw a single line of text, not in paragraph form, okay? Single line text is also called D-text. So when you see D-text, it's talking about single line text. Of course, when you see M-text, it's talking about multi-line, okay? Now, we want to put our text on the right layer, right? Because we have a text layer. So let's come up here to our layer properties here, or our layer window, whatever we're going to call it, okay? And drop down list here, okay? And let's choose the text layer. Okay, so now the text layer is our current layer. And we see that it's green. So that's going to help us out, right? Help us out in terms of realizing if the text is on the right layer, because all the text should be green in color. All right. So I want to share something else with you. Okay, so there are two ways, multiple ways of doing the same thing in AutoCAD. So now if I go, okay, I access the text styles from here, pardon me. I can also go to annotate. Cool. And this is my text panel right here. Okay. So I see my current text style that I'm using is called standard, and my standard height here is 0.2. Let's see what's in this drop down list. Okay. Well, it's only 0.2. That's fine. All right. So two ways of accessing text styles. Okay, from the actual panel here, tab here, and of course there's a drop down. This here, same as it was on the Home tab, allows you to do multi-line or single line. Okay, so let's go back to the Home tab. Good. Let's come over here to the annotation panel. Okay. And let's pin this for a second. Let's pin this and let's pin it right here. Okay, so it doesn't retract. Okay, so if I hover over this, let's see what's going to tell us. Text style. Okay, so this allows us to create different text styles. Okay, this allows us to create different dimension styles. This allows us to create multi-leader styles. Okay, and tables as well. Okay. So, but we're interested in textiles. So let's left click on this icon here. It brings us to this dialog box. Okay. At present, we have two textiles loaded in this session of AutoCAD. Annotative, which we'll use a little bit later, and standard. Okay. Standard. And if it's highlighted in blue here, that means it is the current text style. All right, what we want to do, we want to change the font name of the standard text style for this particular AutoCAD drawing. Okay, we want to change the font name. Okay, right now the font name is Arial. We want to change that. Okay, So drop down list. These are all the default AutoCAD text styles, okay? We want to change, let me see, what do we want to change it to? We want to change it to Romans. Okay, let's go to R. Yes, okay. I just typed in R, it took me down to the R's. And typically for civil drawings, okay, the text style is Romans SHX. Okay, that is a typical text style used on civil drawings or for civil drawings. Okay, so let's choose that. Cool. All right. Okay, and that's the only thing that we want to change. We just want to change the font name. Okay, so I'll give you a moment to do that. Okay. Cool. So once you've selected the font name, then we want to apply that. And then we can set it to current. So, well, it already is our current text style, so we don't have to do that. So we can close out. Cool. Oh, let me unpin it, that's why. All right, cool. Now, this first box here contains the college address, okay? And we're going to use multi-line text, okay? Multi-line text, okay? So text layer is current, that's good. All right, so let's go to the application, the big A right here. Good. Let's choose multi-line text. Okay. All right. So now, when you invoke the command, it's asking you specify because this is just like a text box. That's really what it is. It's like a text box. So it's asking you for the first corner. So I'm going to choose corner down here. I'm zooming a little bit. Okay. Now, once I choose that first corner, it gives me some options. It gives me some options. Okay. I can now establish the height. The height of this text is going to be, what is it going to be? 1.125. Okay. So I'm going to choose the height here. I can type in H, enter, or I could just select it with my icon here. So my height is going to be 0.125. Okay. Enter that. That brings me back to my options. Okay. The next thing that I want to specify is the justification of the text, or its point of its point of origin. Okay. Right. So I want this text to be centered within that box, vertically and horizontally. So I want to choose MC, which stands for middle center justification. We see the default. Okay. Well, we're going to choose middle C. Good. All right. Now that we've chosen the height and we've chosen the justification, that is, we're not going to change the line spacing. We're not going to change the rotation. We're not going to change the style. We're not going to change the width. We could at this point, but we don't need to do that. All right, so let's come over here. Let's establish now the opposite corner, which is going to be here. Whoops. Did it? Yep. Let me Control Z out of that. Let me escape out of that because it didn't get the right corner that I wanted. Okay, good. Okay. H. Let me do my height again. 0.125. Okay, enter that. Okay, justification. MC. Okay, opposite corner. Now let me, there we go. I need to get in there. Yeah, that's where I need to be. Okay, cool. Now, when you do that, it gives you this ruler, okay? So now, annotation on civil drawings always what? Uppercase, uppercase. So let's turn our caps lock on. Okay, caps lock on, and we need to type in Delaware Tech, Delaware. Aha, it's green, that's good. Delaware Tech. Okay, and let's enter that. I'll go down enough space, 400, what is it? Stanton dash Christiana. Oh, is that right? Yeah, Christiana. My goodness, I should know that, shouldn't I? Christiana Road. Okay, enter again to go down. Newark. Delaware 19713. Okay, and once I have the text in, all I have to do is left click out of it, left click. There we go. Okay, and of course you can keep going. You can keep going. Okay, the next box, okay, contains the title of the drawing, and we're going to actually write that title of drawing. Okay, so let's see if I can right click again. Right click. Okay, there it is. Right click. Repeat. Pardon me. MText. You know what's asking me for my corner, right? Good. Now I have a change now. I need to change the height. Okay. At present, the height is 0.125 inches. I need to change it to what? Somebody tell me what I need to change my height to.
I believe it's 0.2.
Okay, good. Thank you. 0.2. Okay. 0.2. Okay. Enter that. Okay. Justification. I need to. I'm still going to use middle center. Okay. Now it's asking me for the upper right. Yep, I'm there. Good. Good. I get the ruler, and all I gotta do is type in now title of drawing. Okay, left click out of it. Cool. Okay. So I'm gonna let you work on the last two yourself, and I'm gonna let you start it. Okay. And then I'll demonstrate. When you get to you after you type in your first initial and your last name, okay, right? And then you're just gonna space. You're gonna enter twice to give you that space between your name here and scale. You're just gonna enter twice to give you that space. All right. So I'll just let you go ahead and work on that on your own, and then I'll come back and I'll demonstrate. Please note that the lettering height goes back to 0.125 inches.
Is there a comma or anything between the first initial and last name?
No, I'll just put your first initial period space last name.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So we have created the 8.5 by 11 title block that we're going to use for our legal description that we're going to draw later on. All right, so that is, the drawing is saved. Everybody has saved the drawing. Before I move on, who has not completed the title block? Good. So everybody has. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Make sure you save it. Make sure you save it. Sorry. Save it. Okay. So I could save it here. I could save it here in the application button, or I could type in Q save. Okay. 3 ways. Okay. So now let me do a new share. Okay. Okay, let's go. I think I want to be here. Cool. All right. So now we're going to go to deconstructing a silver drawing part 2. Okay. Detail. So I'll give you a chance to get there. Okay. Deconstructing a civil engineering drawing set part 2. Okay. Okay. This is the required textbook reading. That's going to, this is your reading assignment for next week. Okay. Right here. So I'm giving you plenty of notice, and of course I'm going to send out a announcement and email on Monday. Okay, and associated with this text reading is going to be quiz number 3. Okay? Of course, quiz number 2 was due today. Quiz number 3 will be due at the beginning of next Friday's class. All right, so it says using the example CAD files provided, open the final plot plan drawing. Okay, so what we're going to do. Okay, so we did that in part 1 in terms of unzipping those example CAD files. Okay, so let's go back to AutoCAD here. Oh, I didn't just do a new share, pardon me there. Let's go back to AutoCAD. Okay. So we are going to, let's come up here to the application menu. Okay, let's open, hover over open, and then choose drawing. Good. Now, it immediately took me to my CET 220 folder that I created in my documents, okay? I don't know where you put yours, but let's do that, okay? And then here's the folder, okay, that I need to open, okay? Once I'm there, so I'm gonna go here. Double click on it. I guess I have to. There we go. Finally, okay. So when you open up the example CAD files, what we want to open is the final plot plans, right? This one right here. Okay, you select it, left click. Okay, here it is here. Here it is here. Okay, and then open. Just exit out. I'll close out of this. Aha. So now we see that we've opened up the final plot plans drawing. Okay. And here we are in paper space. Now this takes us, okay, let me give you a chance to do that. Are we ready? Hello?
Yep.
Cool. All right, so this kind of takes us back to part one, okay? So we see here we are in model space. If you go to model space, okay? Right. So this contains the final design, okay? In terms of this subdivision, okay? Good. So then we have the road profiles over here. So all of this is in model space, okay? But then now we use paper space to kind of organize this information in model space into separate drawings, okay? Separate drawings, okay? Using viewports, okay? Which we'll talk about a little bit later, okay? So I'm in model space. I have all my models in model space. So then I go to my first layout, which is the cover sheet, which you all are going to do, okay? Of course, this is a cover sheet that you guys are familiar with the contents of a cover sheet, okay? But this was formatted in paper space to include all of this information and to be plotted out with a sheet size of 24 by 36. And that's what you're going to be doing for your final project. Okay, good. So as we continue to add layouts, we can go to the next drawing. Of course, as Ms. Kelly pointed out to you, this is not a full set, but it's just to give you an example of how you would use different layouts to portray different information or different information. All right, so we go to exploratory tool, okay? And this is what we're going to manipulate. But before we do that, we can go to this third tab here, which is road profile 1, okay? And Mrs. Kelly explained all of that to you in the video, okay? But this is how you would go from tab to tab, and then you would come over here and you would create a new layout and do a different drawing, and you would keep going and keep going until you have compiled a complete set of drawings. Okay, let's go back to exploratory tool.
Excuse me,
Let's
Mr.
go.
Williams.
Yes.
When I was watching the video, I downloaded the zip files onto my desktop, and I'm having trouble getting them to a Porto. They weren't saved on a Porto, they were just saved on my computer. Do you know how to get it onto a Porto?
So I had a similar problem, and when I opened up the other drawing, I just went with where is it? It was under the example CAD file. Well, hold on.
Oh, okay.
So I had to find like the DTCC file, and then from there I went and clicked the CET 220, and then
In the shared folders?
yeah.
Okay.
All right. And mine says I can't find it.
Hold on a second. I think I can help out here. Let's see. Okay. Here's what you can do, okay? Um, you you can go to example. Let's go back to see if this works. Back to deconstructing civil drawing, engineering drawing, part one. Part one. Okay, come down to example CAD files right here. Did you do this? Did you download it here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it just downloads to my computer, not a Porto. Like I can't find it on.
Oh, you can't find it on a portal.
I was gonna say, Mr. Williams, do you mind if I share my screen for a second?
Oh, absolutely. If you have a solution, absolutely. Okay, let me stop sharing. Oh no, you can share now. Go ahead.
It still says that host disabled participants.
Okay,
screen share.
let me correct that then. Now you're able to.
All right, awesome. So yeah, from inside of Porto, I just went and clicked open. And then from drawing, hold on. I pretty much just, like, I clicked the desktop. I clicked this PC,
Uh-huh.
desktop again.
Uh-huh.
The shared folders pops up. And then from in here, this is where I find the CET 220. And I double click that. And then from within here, I find the example CAD files.
Okay.
However, when I clicked it to like open it, so it says, you know, am I just gonna read only? So I
Yes.
just click.
Well,
I didn't know if there was a way where within a Porto I could open it and then do a save as later on and
yes.
save that as my own file.
Yeah, try that. Try that.
So yeah, I'll open this up.
Uh-huh.
Blah, blah, blah. And then once this is open, now I can save as.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not sure where I would put it under, because again, I was having similar problems where I've created a file. Maybe I could just create it from here. I created a file. I created a file to keep all my stuff for this class in, but it's
Right.
on my computer and not necessarily a Porto.
Okay. But just so the issue is here.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
Great. Did anybody else have a problem? Hello?
I think I was good.
Okay, so everybody is good now. All righty. All right, so who was just talking?
That was me, Tim. I was helping out, I believe, Justin.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, thank you, Tim. That was great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so let me get back to sharing here. Let's get back to. Okay, so everybody should be able to have the final plot plan open. There we go. That's my Zoom extent. All right, so we want to be at exploratory tool. Okay, now let's see. We are going to just, this is just going to show you simple thing is how you would revise a title block, okay? An attributable title block. Okay, so here we have our title blocking information, right? For a 24 by 36 sheet of paper, which you're going to be using for your capstone. Okay, good. So we're just going to make some simple revisions, and then if we were on campus, we could actually print it out as a PDF, as a portable document format. But we won't be able to print it out, but we are going to make a PDF of it, and you're going to submit that PDF to me through D2L. All right, so now, remember when I told you that when you insert objects from a different drawing, that object comes in as an entity, as one entity. So this is what happened here, okay? So if, in order for me to revise this title block, okay? Okay, let me get out of this. There we go. I was actually inside the floating viewport. Okay, so now I just double click out of it. So what you have to do, you have to, okay, if I double click inside the viewport, it activates it, and you actually are in model space from paper space. So in order to deactivate the viewport, I left double click outside of it, and I keep doing it until I get it. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to reiterate that. If I double click inside the viewport, there we go. The perimeter of the viewport becomes this thickened line. So that means I'm actively inside model space. Okay. Then to deactivate it, I just left double click outside of it. There we go. Cool. So now you want to be outside the viewport. It needs to be deactivated. Now, and notice when I select any area of this title block, the entire title block is highlighted. So what do we have to do to revert it to its individual components? So what do we have to do?
At the same explode function.
We have to explode it, okay? So let's go to the explode command up here, right here. We kind of did it before. Okay, and then we want to, it's asking me what objects do you want to explode? So we're going to choose the viewport here, I mean the title block. Enter that, good. Oops. Let's see.
Can you explode blocks?
Oh yes, you can. Okay, let's see what the issue is with this. Why can't I? Yes, you can explode blocks.
Because
Many times, if you want to, well, I won't say that. Okay, all right. So let's see why.
I was gonna, for me, if I just double click the title block, it brings up kind of like a prompt where it allows me to edit each.
Okay. All right. So it is attributable. Okay. Okay. All right. This is a little different. All right. This is an attributable block. Okay. All right. So if you do double click on it, okay, it will bring up this attribute editor dialog box. Okay. All right. So and you can actually change it. Okay. So we're not going to change the scale. Okay. But we are going to change drawn by. So if you choose draw, if you left click on this, I want you to change the initials to your initials, please. So I'm gonna change it to JMW for me. Okay, all right, and then we can scroll down. Okay, down. Okay. Okay, let's go to class right here. Let's change that from CET 244. Select that. Okay, let's change this to CET 220. Okay, cool. Let's go down some more. What else we're going to change? We want to change. Okay, I'm just going to apply this right now. I'm going to apply it. Okay, see what happens. Okay, so that's changed. Okay, drawn by is changed. Okay. The only thing I want to change now is the issue date. I want you to change it to today's date. Okay, so let's double click on this again. Okay, all right, here we go. So we're gonna pick the issue date here. We're going to change it to today's date. I'm just going to go 1/20/29-21. Okay, cool. We're going to apply that. Okay to that. Okay, so let's review our changes. Okay, that's changed to CET 220. Okay, the date is changed to today's date, and drawn by is changed to my initials. That's all we're going to do. But it's just showing you how that you could, with an attributable block, okay, you can change the attributes. Okay. Yes. Let me see. Nah, okay. All righty. All right. So let's, oh, no, don't save the drawing though. Don't save the drawing. Do not save the drawing. Okay. All right. All right, so now let's talk about plotting and making a PDF. Okay, how much time do we have? Yeah, we're doing good. Okay. Let's go to, there are several ways to get to the plot dialog box, okay? If we go to the application menu up here, or button, okay, and we come down to print, and then we choose plot. We could do it that way, okay? That'll bring us to the plot dialog box, or we can simply, at the command line down here, we can type in the word plot. And then we can enter that.
Now for a drawing like this, because we have multiple sheets, would we want to do the batch plot?
Yes, yes, yes. In fact, yeah, you would set up batch plotting so you can just plot all the sheets at once. Yes, or sequentially. All right. Did that make sense? To answer your question, yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Now, and that's kind of advanced in terms of, you know, doing sheet management and all that kind of stuff. All right. But all right. So here's what we're going to do. Okay. This it does your dialog box look like my dialog box? Okay. Does it? In
Yep.
terms of yes or no?
Yeah.
It does. Okay, good. So now this this drop down list here allows us, okay, to choose plotters, and it also allows us to go from a DWG, which is a drawing file, to a PDF. And what we're using is this tool right here, drawing to PDF PC3, okay? All right. So it's already set for you. Okay. The paper size is, we're using an architectural sheet size in this case, which measures to be 24 by 36, that's already set. We're printing from paper space or a layout, okay? Now, however, we're going to be using a different plot style, okay? You notice here, does yours say that your DTC standard CTP is missing?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, let's talk about, remember how we created the layers for our 8.5 by 11 title block? And we actually assigned a weight to the layer, a pin weight to the layer, okay? That's not really how it's done professionally. Professionally, we use a color-dependent plot style, which means that the color of the layer is establishing the thickness of the lines. Okay, the color is establishing the thickness of a line. All right, we're not setting a line weight, but we're allowing the color to set the line weight. Okay, that's called a color-dependent plot style, and that's what this DTCC standard CTP is. It's a color-dependent one, but it's missing. Okay, so what I want to do, let's close out of this for a sec. And let's go to, oh, I didn't mean to come all the way out. Okay, let's go to here. Okay. Okay, let's go to content here, table of contents. Okay, let's come down to drafting standards. We have to open up resources first, and then we go into drafting standards. Okay. Okay. So now, let's come down to how to load a DTC standard plot style. Okay. Now, we may have the same issue with a portal. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Okay. All right. So we need to load that missing CTP file. And these are the instructions. All right. So let's go back to AutoCAD. Okay. Now, here's what it's telling you to do. Okay. Within the drawing window, right click, please. Go to options. And then let's go to the tabs up here. Let's go to plot and publish. Yeah. Plot and publish, this tab here, okay. And then let's select plot style table settings. And then let's go to add or edit plot styles. And that's going to bring us to the style look box. You see, I've already added the DTC file here. So here's what you're going to do. Okay, we're gonna leave this open. Okay, we're gonna leave this open, and let's see. Let's go back to. Oh, I don't want to be there. Okay. Let's go back to D2L. Okay, let's see if I can do. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. Let's go back to D2L. And we want to, I know you can't see my screen now. That's okay.
So I think for future references, if you need to like bring something in, I think you might have to like open your Deltek account through a Porto and then try and download it while you're in a Porto.
Yeah,
Because that seemed I just had to do that for the for what we're trying to load in right now, the standard plot style.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you download it from the drafting standards?
Yeah, so I went in I went
Okay.
in a Porto. I had to like go to the main screen of my computer and then, you know, open like Google Chrome in a Porto, sign in through to D2L, and then, you know, try and download it from that one. So
Okay,
it
because this is the issue. I'm not using a Porto, so mine is much easier. I got you. All right. So Tim,
Yep.
all right. Tim, was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Share your screen because I'm not really using a Porto. Share your screen with me.
Yes. So from
Okay.
here,
So now everybody's going to follow what Tim is doing. All right.
I went to my Deltek and pretty much opened up the drafting standards
Right.
and
Okay. So let's take a step at a time. Please go back, please, Tim.
oh, yep, sorry.
Okay. So let's go to drafting standards. Okay.
Which was under resources,
Correct.
drafting standards.
Okay. So-
And again, this is all open through a Porto.
Okay.
And then once you guys get here, how to load,
Mm-hmm. Down.
and then I
Yes.
click download. So now as you can tell, it's downloaded in a Porto. If I was to try and download it on mine, it would have showed up, I guess, lower. And then after I had it downloaded, then I went over back in a Porto. I went back over here and I tried to do the plot style table settings
Uh-huh.
and then add. And
All you
then,
gotta do is copy. Yeah.
yeah, so then I went to my downloads,
Right.
saw what this was. I right clicked it, copied,
Right.
and then I just clicked back because it just shows you the last,
Yeah.
like the last thing that you were open to. And then I just right clicked and, you know, pasted or whatever, created
Cool. Okay. All right. Tim, I want you to take it a step at a time. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And so everybody could follow. All right. And then after that, I'll take over. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So then again, just going back, we went to resources, drafting standards, and then how to download DTCC standard,
Right.
and we downloaded it.
Right.
Now, once that is downloaded, we go back to AutoCAD. And in AutoCAD, this is where we right-clicked outside of the drawing in the
Right.
paper space, went to options.
Mm-hmm.
After options, we went to plot and publish,
Yes.
and then we scrolled all the way down to the plot style table settings.
Yes.
From there, we open that, and then we again go to the bottom where it says add or edit plot style tables.
Yes.
We click that, and then from here, it brings up the preset list that already exists.
Right.
However, it doesn't normally have the DTCC standard.
Okay.
So
Okay. So now, So now we're going to go back to.
From here, I just click downloads because it pulls up everything that I've
Yes.
downloaded.
Yes. Yes.
I can highlight this, copy it, and then after it's copied, it's hard to kind of find the trail of where you were I guess with the other styles. So I just click the back arrow.
I
'Cause
got
that
you.
brings me back to the plot styles.
Right.
And then from here, you know, it's as simple as just right
Paste it in
click
there.
and pasting
Okay,
it in
cool.
there.
Okay, cool. So now okay, we're kind of running out of time. So this is the last thing that we're going to do, okay? I want everybody to have that, that was a good example, to have that plot style, um, added to the plot style dialog list, okay? Dialog box or list, okay? So let me show you the last thing that you're going to do. Okay, let me go back to AutoCAD. Once you have added the CTP file, here's what we're going to do. You see, I already have it added here. So now once you get to this point, okay, once you get to this point is what you're going to do. I'm just going to minimize this, okay, and close out all of this, okay, okay, and then I'm going to go to plot. I'm going back to AutoCAD and I'm going to go to plot. I'm going to continue to a single plot. Now, if you go here to the plot style table, and I've already done this, that's why mine is here. But yours, that CTP file may not show up. So here's what you got to do. Here's what you got to do to get it to show up. Okay, close out of this dialog box. Okay, at the command line, type in convert P styles. See that? Convert P styles. Okay. Enter. Okay. I just OK out of this. Close out of it. Cool. All right. Then, okay, go back to plot. Okay. Continue to a single plot. Okay. Now, check the table again to see if the DTC standard CTP file is there. Okay, is it there?
Yeah, mine's on mine.
Okay, anybody else, or do we need help?
I'm still working on it.
Okay, cool. All right. All right, so that's the last thing that we're going to do for today. I will have you submit the PDF at the beginning of next week's class, okay? Because I want to make sure everybody is at this point here where you have added this standard CTP file to your plot style table. Okay, it is 12:01. Is everybody else still working? Hello?
Yeah, I'll just get it. I'll get it eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is good. Did you want us to plot it?
Well, no, you can't plot it. You have to submit the PDF.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant to like convert it to a PDF, and then you want the PDF?
Submit it, yes. Okay, so I was going to do that at the beginning of next week's class.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, that's fine then.
Yeah, that's so we can all do it together. Okay.
So do we have anything due after today?
No, this is all that we're going to do for today. Okay.
Okay.
Just look for my announcement and email on Monday relative to your reading requirement for next Friday's class and a ticket of quiz number 3.
All right. Are we good to go?
We are good to go. Okay. I will have this recording to you by Monday, so you'll be able to follow along if you're a little bit behind. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have
so
a-
everybody
have
have a good weekend, and I'll see you on next Friday. Look for my announcement and emails on Monday. Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Okay. Have a good one.
Okay,
See ya.
So what we have to do is upload the PDF to you
Yes.
with,
We are going to do that at the beginning of Friday's class.
okay.
Okay.
And we just need to have the Deltek standard plot.
Say it again.
I'm kind of confused on what we have to do because I'm still trying to get the standard stuff on here. I can't get it through D2L and Porto yet, so I'm still trying to download that file.
Okay. When I submit this, when I submit the recording to you,
Let's go back and watch it.
yeah, it should be able to help you. Okay.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Have a good one.